good, guys? Mr. Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming. Now we're back with Madden 18 rebuilds. Today we're going to be rebuilding the Jacksonville Jaguars. This team has actually been pretty good this year. Madden just loves this team. And I think currently they're the third best team in the AFC. There's only two teams that look like they're going to make the Super Bowl in that conference. That's the Steelers and Patriots. They're neck and neck. There's no one else who really looks that good. The Chiefs are in no man's land. The Chargers, I don't think they're a Super Bowl talent. The Titans are too inconsistent. The Ravens, oh no, that battery, but the Ravens, we're not in 2012. The Ravens aren't good. And the Jaguars, I think, might be that next best team. So, well, what are we going to do in this rebuild? Sorry about my controller, but what are we going to do at quarterback? Blake Bortles looks like a bust. But, not Balake Bortles. So we're going to keep Blake Bortles because he's so good in this game. Leonard Fournette is an absolute beast. Superstar development, 89 overall. This controller is killing me. I will be back in like 10 minutes. Sorry about those technical difficulties, but Leonard Fournette, he's an absolute beast. I've seen him develop into a 99 overall. Chris Ivory, he's a cool player, 29. I will trade him, though. I did not really get the signing, considering I really do like TJ Yeldon. I thought his development was going well, but Jaguars sort of ruined him. I thought he had a really good rookie year. Then they signed Ivory, which I didn't really get. Then they drafted Fournette, so Ivory's just sinking in the depth chart. I think a team like the Giants could use him, who needs like a young running back. Receivers, Allen Robinson, great young player. He did, I think, tear his ACL opening game. So hopefully he can come back strong next year. I did get him in the Colts rebuild, but he's obviously going to stay. Marquise Lee and Allen Hurns, they're two solid young players. If I keep him, I keep him. If I don't, I don't. Offensive line, Brandon Linder, I do not know his contract, so that's iffy. Cam Robinson, I do want to keep. Mercedes Lewis, I would keep if it was 2010. Michael Rivera apparently is the backup on the defense. So let's look at this defensive line for Jacksonville, as they're called. So Calais Campbell, he is an absolute beast. He was one of their two big free agency signings. The other one was AJ Boye. We'll get to him in a minute. But Calais Campbell's been phenomenal. I know he's kind of old, but I am going to keep him. They also have DeJuan Smoot, former Illinois player. Malik Jackson, he's a very good player. He was their big signing in 2016. But I don't really know. Normal development. I'm probably going to trade him. Marcel Darius, I completely forgot that they got him. I'm assuming he's on a pretty big contract. Abry Jones is here too. Yannick Ngakoue, this dude has been a beast this year for the Jaguars. Sorry about that. But Yannick Ngakoue, he's been phenomenal. He's going to be a great young player in the NFL. Or he is a great young player, but he's going to be a great player. Probably going to move him inside, assuming I trade Malik Jackson, because I do want to start Dante Fowler Jr., who they took 3rd overall in 2015. He was injured his first year, did not play. Last year, he didn't really do much, but this year, he's been better. I've liked what I've seen from him. I do want to keep him. Linebackers, Telvin Smith, he's a beast. Jaguars just gave him a new contract, well-deserved. Paul Posluszny, I know he's a great Jaguar, all-time Jaguar, but I am going to trade him because he's old. Miles Jack, we got him in the Colts rebuild. He honestly did not develop that well. I might move him to safety. I don't really know. Secondary, the corners. This is either the best cornerback tandem in the league or the second best, because Aqib Talib and Chris Harris is hard to beat. But Jalen Ramsey, the second-year man from Florida State, I thought going into the 2016 draft, he was the best player in that draft, and so far, I honestly think I'm right. And also AJ Boye, who was a big free agency signing this offseason. He has been phenomenal for them this year. I really wanted the Lions to get him. Him and Darius Slay would be lethal. Deshaun Gibson, he's a very cool player. I really liked him when he was on the Browns. Don't know how big his contract is, though. Barry Church, he is 29. Probably going to trade him. Calvin Pryor's on this team. What a bust. He got traded from the Jets to the Browns for Demario Davis. Demario Davis has been great for the Jets this year, and Calvin Pryor's not even on the Browns. I think the Browns must have cut him. So they traded Demario Davis, who's been phenomenal this year, for nothing, pretty much. Man, Calvin Pryor's terrible. We're trading Aaron Colvin, Paul Posluszny. I know Jaguars fans are going to be probably pretty sad. And a 3rd-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys for Zach Morton. I get Zach Morton like every rebuild, but for good reason. I want to have a good offensive line for Leonard Fournette to potentially win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Blake Bortles to potentially win MVP. I know you're probably thinking, oh, this kid's an idiot because he thinks Blake Bortles can win MVP. In this game, I've seen Blake Bortles winning MVP is pretty common, which is pretty crazy. We're doing this straight up. We're trading Abry Jones, who's a backup defensive tackle. He's pretty good, though, to the Washington Redskins for another player I get pretty much every rebuild, and that's Brandon Scherff. He's so easy to get, and he's really, really good. He's only 25 years old, and he's an 89 overall. Extremely underrated in real life and in the game, because it should not take Avery Jones to get Brandon Scherff. Stock up on some more offensive linemen as we're trading a 4th, a 6th, and Calvin Pryor to the Eagles for Lane Johnson, another really good and really easy player to get. I think he's been one of the best offensive linemen in the league this year. I think he's been top 5, maybe even top 3 best offensive linemen this year, because he's just been that good for the Eagles. So now we just added him, Scherff, and Zach Martin. This offensive line straight up. We're trading Barry Church for Paul Posluszny. We're getting Posluszny back, and Barry Church is actually going back to the Cowboys. I'm doing this for a bigger trade involving Paul Posluszny, so he's not going to stay. Paul Posluszny was able to get my big trade done. We traded Paul Posluszny, A.J. Cann, and a 2nd-round pick to the Cincinnati Bengals for A.J. Green. He is an absolute beast, so we're probably going to trade Hearns or Marquise Lee. I think Marquise Lee is quick development, so we're probably going to trade Allen Hearns now. We are trading a lot, but we're trading Marcel Darius, Mercedes Lewis, and Cam Robinson to the Steelers for Ryan Shazier. He's an absolute beast. I think we're going to go a rebuild without getting Jared Davis, which is pretty new. Now, the only player I really care about that we're trading is Cam Robinson. We now only have 4 decent offensive linemen. But I could probably get Joe Thomas or Marshall Yanda. Trading a 3rd-round pick next year and Wilson to the Baltimore Ravens for Marshall Yanda. He is an absolute beast. Yes, he is. And if Linder struggles, then I'm just going to get Joe Thomas. But hopefully Linder does not suck. Hearns and Marquise Lee. I chose Marquise Lee over Hearns simply because of development trait. I think Allen Hearns is better in real life, but Marquise Lee is quick. Allen Hearns is normal. So we're trading Hearns and some scrub to the Panthers for 98 overall Greg Olsen. He's an absolute beast at the tight end spot. So now all we need is a safety, and then I think we're going to be done. So I just signed Perry Riley in free agency. We're trading him and Chad Henne to the Washington Redskins for Sua Cravens to play strong safety. Cravens was really good in the Redskins rebuild, so I'm happy to bring him back to the team. I think our offense is really good. Blake Bortles is an absolute beast in this game. Our running backs, I forgot to trade Ivory and Yeldon, but it's fine. I'd rather TJ Yeldon be the number 2 running back with Fournette. Receivers are A.J. Green, Allen Robinson, and Marquise Lee. The O-line is stacked with Lane Johnson, Zach Martin, Brandon Linder, Marshall Yanda, and Brandon Scherff. The tight end is Greg Olsen. On the defense, I was going to move Ngakoue inside, but he was only a 74. And Dante Fowler can't play defensive tackle, but luckily Calais Campbell can. So Calais Campbell and Malik Jackson will be defensive tackles at the end spots. It'll be Ngakoue and Dante Fowler. The linebackers are 3 very similar players, especially Telvin Smith and Ryan Shazier, because they're both extremely fast, extremely good in coverage. So Telvin Smith, Ryan Shazier, and Miles Jack. All 3 of these guys are really similar. Just Miles Jack is really fast too. These 3 are like clones. Anyway, secondary, Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye, Deshaun Gibson, and Sua Cravens. I think our weak spot is probably number 3 corner, but I think it's fine. We should definitely make the play. At the end of the season, we get a 1st-round bye. Bortles, 15K XP. You mean from Pro Bowl? That's all? No MVP? Fournette, 61,000. He must have won Rookie of the Year. He won Running Back of the Year, too, and Pro Bowl. I'm a little surprised he won Rookie of the Year because the AFC has Deshaun Watson. Brandon Linder with a lot of XP. Allen Robinson, 40,000. On the defense, Ryan Shazier with a bunch. Jalen Ramsey with a bunch. So Shazier, Ramsey, Allen Robinson, Brandon Linder, Leonard Fournette, and Blake Bortles, and Brandon Scherff for the ones with all the XP. Our record was 11. Nope, it's not 11-4. Our record was 12-4. Wow, Todd Gurley wins MVP. So Blake Bortles does what Blake Bortles does in Madden. 4,700. Wow, he had Colin Kaepernick. 4,700 yards, 33 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. So the touchdowns, too many interceptions. Let's just say that. Running the ball, Leonard Fournette was great. 1,306 yards, 3.8. We can improve that, but 18 touchdowns, that's a lot. Which is not a bad thing. Greg Olsen led the team in catches, 3rd in yards, had a good amount of touchdowns. Allen Robinson, I don't know why he's that. He made the Pro Bowl. He didn't have that. He had a pretty good season, but less than 1,000 yards, only 5 touchdowns. That's not that exciting. A.J. Green led us in yards and touchdowns. Marquise Lee, very solid year. Blocking. 8 sacks allowed from Johnson, 3 from Brandon Church, so the offensive line was great. Ryan Shazier, 131 sacks. Telvin Smith, 115 sacks. No, those was tackles, not sacks. 11 sacks for Dante Fowler. He had a good year. Don't know why he has not a lot of XP. No, what am I doing? No, darn it. No, I want to look at defense, not go back. Let's try this again. So, defense. After Dante Fowler, I'm pretty sure it was Calais Campbell with 8. Malik Jackson, 6.5. No, not 6.5. 6.5. Yannick Ngakoue, only 3. Pretty disappointing year from him. Interceptions, 5 for Shazier, 4 for Ramsey and Tashawn Gibson, 3 from A.J. Boye, Miles Jack, 2 from Telvin Smith and Tua Cravens, and 1 from this Patman guy, so our defense was very solid. Yearly awards, Todd Gurley, of course, won MVP. Blake Bortles at number 7. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Tom Brady, Bortles, and Fournette at 5 and 6. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Ryan Shazier. I think he had a good year. Mario Williams. What are we in, 2009? No, Mario Williams is not good anymore. But Shazier, I don't know if he had Defensive Rookie of the Year, but, like, he had a good year. Leonard Fournette, of course, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Deshaun Kaiser ahead of Deshaun Watson. So I guess Deshaun Watson struggled. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Chase Allen. He got into the Dolphins speed rebuild. Don't know how. But no Jaguars. This team really focused on offensive and draft. Best quarterback, best running back, Leonard Fournette. Best receiver, A.J. Green at number 4. He probably made a Pro Bowl. This offensive lineman, top 3, and another guy in the top 5. Okay, I cannot speak. These sniffles are killing me, if you cannot tell. Best defensive lineman, probably none. Best linebacker, Ryan Shazier at number 2. Corey Moore, no clue who that guy is. But I'd know everyone from 2 to 10. Yeah, even Andre Hall and Deron Harmon. So looking at the team after I XP'd everyone, Blake Bortles, he's an 84 overall. But don't let that 84 scare you. Whatever Blake Bortles' rating is, it goes up 15. That's how he plays. So technically he's a 99. I just made that up, but he plays like a 90, high 90. Leonard Fournette's a beast at a 96. A.J. Green's a 98. Robinson's a 93. The offensive line is looking great. Brandon Linder's a 90. Scherf is a 95. Zach Barnes a 99. Greg Olsen is a 99. Looking at the defense, Ngakoue's an 88. Fowler's an 85. A.J. Boye is a 91. Shazier's a 94. Jalen Ramsey is a 98. I think this team can go all the way, but knowing Madden, Robbie's. So in the divisional round, we're going to be playing the Oakland Raiders. Probably a very winnable game. And watch us lose. Watch us lose. We're probably going to lose because it's Madden. And no, we win, but we're playing Tom Brady and the Patriots. So we might actually lose. At the Super Bowl, there's no game. So that means we lost to the Patriots. Great. In an effort to clear up some cap space, we're trading Chris Ivory and Malik Jackson, as well as a 5th-round pick, 2 Niners, for the 1st overall pick. So we're getting a really good pick and trading 2 pretty big contracts, especially Malik Jackson, who's making a lot of money. So free agency was not a success. We do not get Allen Robinson or Marquise Lee back. I don't really care about Marquise Lee, but Allen Robinson is a pretty big deal. So I'm going to have to trade to get him back. I think they both went to the Lions, which, at least they went to my Lions, right? Well, let's see. So Allen Robinson went to the Bucks, and Marquise Lee went to the Lions. So the Bucks really screwed us. Let's get Allen Robinson back. So unfortunately, the Bucks are being buttheads about Allen Robinson. As you can see, it's not even in the green for TJ Yeldon, Tua Cravens, and the 1st overall pick. So we're just going to have to move on from Allen Robinson and get someone else. To replace Allen Robinson, we're trading Tashawn Gibson, TJ Yeldon, and the 30th overall pick to the Giants for Odell Beckham Jr. I've got him a few times, and we're going to get him again today. So Julio Jones, or not Julio Jones, A.J. Green, Odell Beckham, and hopefully some other stud receiver will give Blake Bortles an even better receiving corps than last. After day 2 of free agency, we're signing Teddy Bridgewater and Thomas Rawls. Neither of them are going to stay on this team. Obviously, we're starting the GOAT Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette. But I'm using them both as trade bait because we still need another receiver. We need a 3 safety because we just lost Deshaun Gibson. And we also need a defensive tackle since we lost Malik Jackson. And I'm probably going to get one with the number 1 overall pick. Hopefully there's going to be one of those positions available. If not, I'll just trade the pick for one of those positions. But those signings are going to be big so we can get those positions. If you guys remember me getting the 1st pick Now we're in the draft, and what I did was I traded it down to pick 2, traded that down to pick 3, and then traded back down to pick 5 because the Colts wouldn't cooperate with the 4th pick. We got a lot in return. We got 3 future firsts, 2 second-round picks, and a 3rd-round pick. So we're using the 3rd-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, and the 5th pick to the Baltimore Ravens for Michael Pierce and the 10th pick. I plan on taking a player at that 10th pick. The only problem is that player is a defensive tackle, and we're getting Michael Pierce right now, and we already have Calais Campbell. So I'm probably going to trade Michael Pierce. He's young and he's really good. So he's definitely going to have a lot of... So we drafted a defensive tackle. He's pretty good. So we're trading Michael Pierce as 2nd and Wild, the backup running back, to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to the Atlanta Falcons for one of my favorite young players in the NFL, Keanu Neal. You guys know I really like him. I also really like his teammate, Deion Jones. I think they're 2 future stars. I think the Falcons have a very good defense, like in the future. Takk McKinley, their 1st-round pick this year. I think Dan Quinn is an excellent coach, one of the best in the league, in my opinion, especially defensively. So I think the Falcons have a very bright future on that side of the ball, and Keanu Neal's one of the big reasons why, but we're stealing him in this trade. So with the 11th pick, there is a receiver I really want. So we're getting that 11th pick in a future 5th for Teddy Bridgewater and Thomas Rawls, who I signed in free agency. So essentially, we're getting the 11th pick for 3. So I just finished the draft. We drafted 3 players with the 10th pick, the 11th pick. We also had a 2nd-round pick from all that trading down. So with our 10th pick, we took the defensive tackle, Daron Payne from Alabama. Very dominant player in college football. He's a 79 overall with normal development. With the 11th pick, we took Equanimous, I do not know how to say that, Equanimous St. Brown from Notre Dame. He's also a 79 overall normal development at that wide receiver spot. And in the 2nd round, we took Josh Allen, the linebacker from Kentucky. And he's also a 79 with normal. It says 78. I could have sworn he was a 79, but whatever. So Josh Allen here. Not the quarterback from Wyoming. This is the better Josh Allen. If you guys don't know, I think the Josh Allen from Wyoming is a complete bust. I think Baker Mayfield might be a bust too, but I think Josh Allen's worse. So... is there anything, I don't think I need to make any trades. Maybe I need to get like a number 3 corner. Oh wait, no, now I know what I remember what I wanted to do. So Josh Allen's going to move to outside linebacker, or Ryan Shazier. I'm going to move one of them to outside linebacker. I'm going to move Miles Jack to safety. I'm going to trade Sue Cravens. And we need a number 3 corner, so that's probably what I'm going to do with Sue Cravens. Our new number 3 corner is probably good enough to not play number 3 corner. He's probably going to be the number 2 corner, as we're trading the 1st-round pick, Sue Cravens, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who I just signed in free agency, to my Detroit Lions for Darius Slay. He was an absolute beast. So our cornerbacks are going to be Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, and A.J. Boye. That's just going to be wrong. So let's look at this team. So the offense... we added Odell, St. Brown, and that's all we really added. On defense, we added Daron Payne, Darius Slay, and Josh Allen, as well as Keanu Neal. So this team is pretty similar from last year. Hopefully we can do as good as last. So at the end of the season, we do get a 1st-round bye. Everyone on offense who's the starter is over 10,000 XP. And Quimini St. Brown's at like 30. Odell has 30. Not Worrell. I'm used to like Leonard. Do you get it? Leonard Worrell, Leonard Fournette. Anyway, Leonard Fournette is 34,000. Blake Bortles has a lot. On the defensive side of the ball, Josh Allen has 90,000. We don't need to look at all that. But he had... okay, so Leonard Worrell gets 12K for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Assuming Josh Allen does, he probably had more of a Defensive Rookie of the Year. Keanu Neal has a boatload of XP. Dante Fowler, 24,000. He's been developing really well. Blake Bortles, that's a lot of interceptions, but that's a lot of yards. Solid year for Blake Bortles. Picks need to go down. Leonard Fournette, 22 touchdowns. Oh, my word. Receiving, Greg Olsen. I almost said Greg Oden. Greg Olsen, 100 catches. Odell Beckham, 99 catches for 1,700 yards, 12 touchdowns. Solid year for A.J. Green, 11 touchdowns for St. Brown. Blocking, I didn't even see our record. 3 sacks for Lane Johnson. Defense, Josh Allen, 178 tackles. Sacks, 17 for Dante Fowler. Interceptions, 6 for Ramsey, 4 for Telvin Smith, 3 for Darius Slay, 2 for Jack, Neal, and Boye, 1 for Shazier, 1 for Anthony Jefferson. So he had the 2nd most offensive yards, and on defense, we had the... okay, so our defense was not that great. But MVP goes to Blake Bortles. So the coach name, which was Blake Bortles for MVP, was not a lie. I'm telling you, Blake Bortles is a beast in this game. Fournette in at number 5. Offensive Player of the Year, Bortles at number 2. Fournette at 3. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Josh Allen. Just because he had all those tackles. Which, I don't think Defensive Player of the Year should be based on tackles, but he did have a really good year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Equinemius St. Brown. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Josh Allen. I don't know how he is normal with winning Rookie of the Year. All those tackles. Defensive Player of the Year. Deron Payton in number 3. Best quarterback, Bortles. Best running back, probably Leonard Fournette. Yep. Best wide receiver, Odell Beckham. Best offensive lineman, Zach Morton. Best defensive lineman, Dante Fowler at number 4. Best linebacker, Telvin Smith at 3. I don't know why Josh Allen's 6, because he won Defensive Player of the Year. Best defensive back, Jalen Ramsey up there. So our record, how did we do this year? Our record was 12-4. Honestly, I thought we were going to do better, but I don't really care. So here's a look at the team before I XP everyone. Now let's look at the new team. So looking at the team after I XP'd everyone, MVP Blake Bortles is an 86, but remember the plus 15 overalls, so he's technically an 101. Leonard Fournette's a 99. Odell's a 99. Quinn, I do not know, is an 86. Offensive line is stacked. On to the defensive side of the ball, Keanu Neal's a 95. Jalen Ramsey's a 99. Dante Fowler's a 90. Josh Allen is a 96, and he only has 5 XP left. Ryan Shazier's a 96, so I'm just going to send him to the Super Bowl. This team is absolutely insane. Definitely one of the best I've ever. And luckily, Madden's actually smart enough, and we do make the Super Bowl. We're going to be taking on the Packers in Minnesota, which, if this was real life, that'll benefit the Jaguars, since the Vikings and Packers are divisional rivals. But, of course, this is a make-believe video game land, so none of that is possible. Do we win the Super Bowl? We definitely should, because our team was stacked. And do we win the Super Bowl? We better. Come on, Madden. Please don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. It's going to be dumb somehow, though. We're probably going to lose. And, no, we win. 49-24. So, this was the final roster. MVP, Blake Bortles. Leonard Fournette, who's a 99. Odell Beckham, St. Brown, AJ Green, Greg Olsen. The offensive line is nuts. On the defensive side of the ball, our worst player by far on this team is Deron Payne, who's pretty good at an 83. Dante Fowler, he developed really well. Jalen Ramsey's a 99. Keanu Neal's a beast. Josh Allen at a 96. Ryan Shazier at a 96. Miles Jack is at a 90. He was a bit disappointing in this rebuild. Kind of like the Colts one. So, who balled out in the Super Bowl? Probably Blake Bortles. So we almost lost to the Jaguars. Beat the Patriots in New England pretty convincingly. And we beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. So Blake Bortles, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Aaron Rodgers, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Leonard Fournette, 2 touchdowns, 89 yards. Randall Cobb, big game. Our best receiver was St. Brown. Actually, Odell must have had a nice play. Blocking, one for Lane Johnson and Cornelius Lucas. 16 tackles for Josh Allen, sacks. We had none interceptions. We had 3. Des McKinney's apparently on the Packers, but one of the interceptions was from Big Play Slay. One from Jalen Ramsey, one from Keanu Neal. So, I do want to see who wins MVP, and then that will end the video. Will it say in the news? It is, maybe Leonard Fournette. I don't know. But that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and vote in the poll who you guys want me to rebuild next. So, one last look at this team. Our worst 2 starters were Deron Payne and Blake Bortles, but actually not Blake Bortles, because he was, remember, a 101 overall. As for me, I'm out. Peace.
Hey, man!